Travis,
Troy Story.
Troy Story.
you watched Troy for the first time in your life.
Yes.
Can you rate it? Like, give me a Rotten Tomato score, like a percentage. Would that work? I just want to know where you're at.
Is Rotten Tomatoes out of 100? Like, is it percentage?
It's a percentage out of 100.
I'd give it like a 73%.
That's pretty good. I'll take
can
that.
hang my hat on
7
that.
out of 10.
Do you guys know what the actual Rotten Tomato score is?
It's like 50 something, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
super
I was gonna say
disrespectful.
like 11. Yeah.
It's 53.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is
Rotten
great.
Tomatoes is either 0 or 100. They're never just like, that was pretty good.
No, like, that movie was awful. Why would
Yeah.
you make it? Or like, this is art. I love the movie Troy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Before we get too into it, shout out to William Frank on Instagram for DMing us. Travis said on the last episode, if a random fan DMs us, then he'll watch Troy. This guy DM'd us so fast. And now Travis has watched Troy. So shout out to that guy. Very
That's
sick.
you inspire change in this world.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
By DMing us.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. You've introduced Travis to a 70% overall movie, and that's big time.
It's pretty good. And if you had watched it when it came out in 2004,
100%.
yeah, I mean the nostalgia factor definitely plays here. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know where to begin with this movie, but I'll start it off. I hate Paris. I hate Paris in every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
Hate him.
Worst.
He's the worst, dude.
Dude, they're at
like
that
him.
dinner. They're at that dinner making peace, and he's just giving the eyes to Helen. Like while the king is like talking to him. I'm like, Paris, dude, focus
There's
up.
absolutely no respect for Paris.
No respect. I hate Paris. I hate that he lives.
It's crazy the amount of trouble he starts. Like, it's, yeah, him making eyes at Helen at the dinner table causes just so much pain for everybody.
I feel bad. I felt bad
For his
for
country.
For his country. He
Yeah.
did that. It's
So
all
many
his fault.
people. Actually, one of the best bars is when they're in the Temple of Apollo a little bit later on, and Hector is like, "You're gonna kill all these people in war and leave their wives like alone," and he's like, "Well, maybe Paris can comfort them. He seems to be pretty good about doing that to other people's wives." Banger!
Bar.
It's just
Yeah.
his whole movie's a bar off of Achilles
says
just
a
saying
lot of little
awesome
things.
stuff. Yeah.
Dude, I feel bad for Hector because in the beginning he watches Paris go upstairs. So he's like, God, my little brother. And then when they're on the boat, Paris is like, I have to show you something. Hector's like, what is it? And then they go, and he's like,
My
he's
new
like, turn the boat
girlfriend.
around. He's like, turn the boat around.
Turn the
This is
boat.
It's gonna be war. What are you doing? And Paris, I love her. Dude, if I was Hector, I would have thrown Paris overboard.
Yeah.
You go with her.
He loved her after meeting her at dinner.
For like a week. But I guess it's different back then. Whatever.
I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, Paris, the worst character. Worse than Agamemnon.
Agamemnon's at least a king. Figured
Yeah.
some stuff out for himself already at this point.
Who will be
Also,
remembered.
Agamemnon, Brian Cox is the actor, the old guy from Succession.
Yeah.
Logan Roy.
Really good at playing like an old
Awful
asshole.
man.
Yeah, like, he's so mean. He's
Yeah.
really good at it.
Dude, there was so many just people. Like, the cast in this was crazy.
The cameos are nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Logan Roy. You had,
Ned
obviously,
Stark.
Brad Pitt, Ned Stark.
Yeah, as Odysseus, which is
Yeah.
the funniest part is that guy's name is Odysseus, and right after this he goes on the Odyssey. What a coincidence.
Yeah. He also
Would you
had,
say-
Orlando Bloom, Legolas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will
Would you
Turner.
say that? Who's Will? Oh, that's Orlando
Pirates of the
Bloom.
Caribbean. Yeah.
I do love at the end of the movie, Paris finally says the right thing where they leave the horse on the beach, and the one guy is like, it's a gift to Poseidon, and then Paris is like, we should burn it, and then the dude is like, it's a gift to the gods. Paris is like, father, burn it, and then the scene immediately transitioned to them parading it through the city. It's like, if you just listen to Paris, maybe that time might have been right.
Of all the times.
Yeah. But I was gonna ask, is this Brad Pitt's best role?
I think
He's in a lot of things.
So many good roles, yeah.
In this one, he's a beast.
I love this one, in particular.
I like Moneyball.
Top
It's very
Gun.
similar. It's very similar. He plays the same
thing.
character.
Yeah.
You know, he's a killer Greek, and a baseball GM.
Same
hand
thing.
in hand. Same exact thing. He's World War Z. He's in a lot of things. But this was a good role for him. It being in the 2000s, like you were saying, all the different shots. There's a shot in it that I think is hilarious, and it's when they're first invading the beach, and he's giving a speech to the boys, and he's like, look at those shores. Like, look what's on those shores. It's immortality. It's yours. Go take it. And then it's just a slow motion view of him staring. It's the only time that there's slow-mo in the whole movie, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's early 2000s. The movie is so early 2000s. You just got to kind of roll with that part of it. But
oh yeah.
Yeah. That and the whole invading of the shoreline is pretty awesome, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's a great scene.
Agamemnon's like, does the fool think he's gonna take the beach of Troy with 50 men? No, he's gonna do it by himself.
He basically
Agamemnon
does it by himself. Yeah.
And everybody's chanting from the boats, like, Achilles.
So sick.
So sick, dude. That whole scene. There's a lot of. I can't pick like a favorite scene, but that's up there.
The very beginning is pretty good too. Before they invade the beach, where they're like, "We'll send your best fighter against our best fighter," and they send out like the big bald guy, and the little kid goes to wake up Achilles, and he's like, "What does the kid say to him?" He's like, "You can't
He said, I saw who you're fighting. I wouldn't want to fight him."
That's why no one will remember your name. Just instant bar off the very beginning.
It's like
goes,
6.
Okay.
Yeah, kid's like, all right, dude, I'm 12.
I don't remember my name, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell it yet. That part's great, and then when Achilles walks out there, and Agamemnon's like, look who finally came to join us, I should have you whipped, and then Achilles turns around.
Yeah, he's like, I hate
like,
you,
I
dude.
don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes like everybody else to talk to Achilles, and Agamemnon just ruins it every time.
Every single time.
And then somebody else comes in, like, look at all these men, Achilles, like, you can save all of them.
Like, please do it for us. Odysseus is like, don't go for Agamemnon, go for me. We're bros. You could keep me alive. My wife would appreciate it. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll go. I'll go.
Do it for your wife.
Odysseus tries to make a play at Patroclus, and Achilles is like, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't talk to him.
Try and convince me. Don't talk. Yeah. You look at me. Don't talk to him. Okay?
Don't talk to him. He's not a part of this. It's my cousin.
Oh, that's Travis. So since it was your first time watching it, did you think that was Achilles when he ran out to fight Hector? You knew it wasn't.
Not for a second.
Really?
Yeah. It was just one of those. It was one of those situations where it's like, if they're not like openly showing you that it's him, it's not him.
That's fair. Were you like stunned when he died?
When he died, no. Well, for a second there, I was like, "Let's go, Hector's him," and then was like, "Oh, well, his cousin dying was about as obvious as Zuri dying."
Okay.
You know, the second he was like, "I'm coming with you," it's like this kid's gonna die in probably the most brutal way, and then Achilles is gonna snap.
Yep,
that's fair.
I did. That scene tugged at the heartstrings a little bit when his boy, the Myrmidon, has to tell him.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that scene?
It's like one of my only gripes with this movie is I wasn't rooting for a single person. Everybody in this movie was a scumbag.
That's
the only person. Hector would like, even Hector's like 50-50. You know, like he does some pretty scumbag stuff, like when he saves his brother and breaks the pact, and then sends his
Yeah, that's
entire
true.
country to war. Like he didn't,
When you put it like that.
like he didn't know that Greece was gonna like invade either way. Like in his mind,
Yeah.
his brother dies, but better for his people. Some prince, you know, some guy that's supposed to be looking out for my best interests, saved his little brother who's out here stealing wives and sending our country
Yeah.
to be invaded.
Yeah, his
Backing
brother.
up to hating Paris. That
Yeah.
scene when he like crawls to his brother's feet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
When
Yeah.
he's sitting
And
here,
then-
and he's like trying to explain if I died. He's like, just focus on the sword. Stop thinking about dying.
Yeah.
Like you can't go into a fight with that kind of energy.
Dude. But then the flip side of that, how crazy is it that when Achilles is at the gate, everybody knows Hector's gonna die. Like he's essentially saying goodbye to everybody one by one.
That
He's
I
is
also
like,
super
remember the
hated that
passage.
scene.
He's like, oh really?
I hated the 20-minute goodbye scene with Achilles just out there. Hector.
I thought that was so. I love that part where he's just.
So do I.
They're like trying to like say their goodbyes, and Achilles is foaming at the mouth outside, screaming at them. So
Like,
funny.
Like it was definitely cool, but when you're dealing with like basically a 3-hour movie, it's like okay, we could have trimmed this scene down for sure.
It is
Okay,
a bit
yeah.
long. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy that not one person is like, you can win, Hector. Everybody is like,
Yeah,
thanks
they're
for
like,
everything, pal.
damn, sorry, dude. Hopefully he lets you like, get buried in Troy or something.
Nope, he's gonna
Yeah,
drag
I'll
you
celebrate
behind
your
his
death.
chariot all the way back.
Yeah, that part
Now-
was it's fire. I love that.
That whole fight scene is so sick.
Everyone's
The
so
whole thing.
nervous. Yeah.
Every time Achilles strikes him and like it blocks, it just seems so powerful. I was like, dude, Achilles is a beast.
Yeah.
Do you think if they had like modern technology, Achilles would still be sweet? Because what I picked up on is Achilles has the same 3 moves over and over. So if anybody watched any bit of tape on him, they were like, all right, I know he's gonna try and Euro step and then jump spike me.
Well, they
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to
No.
kill him because he's actual superpowers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I mean, even if you got film on him, you could watch him run the offense, but if you try to stab him in the stomach, he still cuts your head off. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's like
So
the
it's
tush push. Like you know it's coming, but they're gonna get 2
Stop
yards.
it.
there's
Yeah.
just nothing you can do
Now,
about it. Yeah,
He has some bars. He has bars the whole movie, but when
The
he
whole
fights
movie.
Hector, oh
Mhm.
man, when he takes his helmet off, he's like, there, now you know who you're fighting. And then Hector tries to say, let's make a deal that whoever dies, we give them the proper funeral rites. And he goes, there's no pacts between lions and men.
bars. Yeah,
I would quit.
It's funny too the part where so just right before that when they kill Patroclus and they realize that they killed Patroclus, they're like, let's everybody take the day off. Everyone take the
Yeah.
rest of the day. It's about to get bad for both of us when he finds out what
Everybody knows.
happened here. Yeah.
The only person that's happy is Agamemnon, and he says it because when they're burying Patroclus, Agamemnon's like, we just won the war.
Exactly.
Because of that kid right there.
Which, like,
Um,
Achilles might have just left. He sends his boys home. He might just have been like, yo, we're leaving if Patroclus didn't die.
We're going to leave.
Yeah.
Like they were out of there.
Yeah, the Myrmidon said it. He was like, we were going to leave today.
Yeah.
But I thought that scene was sad when the Myrmidon comes up there and Brad Pitt walks out and he's like confused. And then Patroclus,
Yeah.
where's Patroclus? It's like, I would hate to have to be the guy that has to tell him.
You gotta imagine, like, in real life, that guy got stabbed immediately.
Yeah.
Achilles was like, stab, kill you, I'm pissed about it.
Yeah. Achilles struck him, and that would have like broken his jaw.
Yeah, would have
You get punched by
incapacitated him
Achilles.
forever. Yeah.
Without a
Mhm.
doubt. What else, dude? There's that fight, unbelievable. Odysseus getting the idea of the horse. I think that's lore accurate. Do you think that they were at a fire and there's a guy carving a piece of wood and he's like, I got it.
I nailed it. I do wonder how that pitch actually went for the Trojan horse. To be like, dude, what if we pack all of ourselves in this fake gift made of wood. I just can't believe that there wasn't a guy that was like, what if they light it on fire? Like,
It's the risk we're gonna have to take.
yeah, I guess that's probably the counter argument, but it's just like, hey, we've been fighting with these guys for months now. Let's fake give them a gift and hope they like it.
I can't believe the other side. Nobody was like, "It's a pretty big horse.
Burn that
what
horse."
What if they're inside?
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be
Nobody wanted to
hollow.
check.
Why is it so heavy? Why is
Yeah.
it thousands of pounds? I
What
thought
keeps
it was
shaking
hollow.
inside of it
Yeah.
as we pull
I
it?
hear them giggling.
That meme cracked me up. Real good podcasting, but the meme where it's like, imagine sitting in the Trojan horse and your boy looks at you like this, and it's just a picture of a guy looking through a mask.
If we were in the Trojan horse, we get everybody killed so fast. We would be giggling up a storm.
I would have
Oh.
never volunteered for the horse. I'd have been like, "That's stupid. I'm gonna wait."
I would have never gotten in it unless Achilles is in there with me and I get to be right next to
Even
him.
then, what's the point of me going if Achilles is there? He's just gonna kill everybody.
Just put
Good point.
Achilles in the horse. It would be. They can't kill him.
How many people do you think he could kill? Do you think he could have taken down the entire army?
I think if you put him in the middle of Troy and they don't get luck, Paris doesn't shoot the luckiest arrow shot of all time, then Achilles would kill every single person in there.
Yeah.
Achilles was a terrible person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very very bad. Dude.
I loved every time he was on there, like on the screen, but hated him. And I hated that little Paris with his little bow and arrow, with his little quiver, and like pulling him out, shooting people because he can't fight with a sword anymore. Of course, he gets the dub. It's always the worst people.
Yeah, that
He gets to keep He gets to keep his homie hopping girlfriend.
so lame. I hate
He now
Paris.
gets to fight from a distance. And nobody's ever gonna believe him, but he gets to go and tell all of his friends that he's the one that killed Achilles.
I never thought about that, but that's tragic.
It is.
Tragic.
Yeah.
He
Joe,
gets to walk around and just be like, "I did it," and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, right."
And yeah, how? I shot him in the Achilles. Like, that's a little on the nose. Is it called an Achilles heel
Yeah.
because of that?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is his name Achilles as like a joke?
No, the Greek mythology is like when you go into the river Styx or whatever in Hades, you become invincible, I guess, but there has to be like one part of you that is like still human, I guess, so that you're not full god. And he put his in his Achilles heel.
They
Like, where-
dipped him in the river Styx to become
Yeah.
By his
and
ankles.
his mom was holding him by his ankles. His mom's a goddess, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
she was like dunk, pulled him out. Yeah,
And is that why they call him Achilles?
Well, because he got like he
Or is it called an
confident
Achilles because of
because
him?
of him.
yeah,
Yeah,
Got it.
because
because
that's where
of
his
him.
was, and he
Yeah.
died
Thank
from
you.
that. and he
Okay,
was
so I was
like, "Oh."
backwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Percy
in
Jackson
the...
went through the river Styx.
Does he?
Yeah.
Where's his Achilles heel?
It's like the center of his back.
That's a bad spot.
That's a bad spot.
Wouldn't want mine to be there.
Covered
I'm
in
talking...
armor. Rather than
But it's big-
rather than your
big target.
flip flop.
I'm not wearing flip-flop. Oh, I guess if I'm in the Trojan War, yeah, I might be wearing
Yeah.
flip-flop.
I'm wearing Tim's, but if my Achilles heel is my Achilles heel,
Well, you have to invent Tim's.
that's fine. I could make that happen. Find
Be
me.
Right.
so rich.
Yeah.
What happens to Paris, like, in the lore? After
I have no
this
idea.
movie?
That's a good question.
I would
Hopefully
like
he
to know.
dies.
I think
I hope
Hopefully
so.
his wife's like, "This guy sucks."
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully they get killed off.
I don't think much happens with Paris. The tidbit of information I have of what happens after this movie is Odysseus goes on the Odyssey. Never saw that
Yep.
one coming.
Nailed it.
There's a scene at the end where they give the sword of Troy to not Paris.
Yeah,
His
stranger.
name's Ennead,
Okay.
or Ennius is his name, and then he takes the people of Troy, which I believe Paris is a part of, with them, and they go to Italy, and they start the Roman Empire. So Ennius, there's another poem called the Ennead that's about Roman mythology, and he is like the ancestor to Remus and Romulus, who are the ones who are credited with starting Rome.
Rome.
That's who Rome is named after, Romulus. So
That's cool.
yeah, that's like kind of the whole start of how Roman mythology comes along. What happens to
I learned
Paris,
something
I
today.
actually don't really know, but yeah,
I didn't expect to learn anything talking to you guys tonight, so this is special.
nice.
You know what they say? Every day's a school day.
Do they?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
say
wow.
that all the time.
I did not. I love the part when the Greeks first get onto the beach, and they're trying to talk about, like, the Trojans are talking about if they can win the war or not. And one of the guys is like, I saw an eagle fly northwest. And Hector goes, bird signs? He's like, we're going to call war because of bird signs? I was like, that's spot on to, like, how I would expect somebody to react.
And his dad's like, we have to trust the gods. And he's like, Achilles literally cut off Apollo's head.
And Apollo did nothing.
It was like, we got to win this war ourselves.
So the actual it doesn't come across as well in the movie, but in the actual Iliad, the reason Achilles dies is because they defile the temple of Apollo, and he cuts the statue's head off. Because Apollo, Apollo is like, dude, that's my fucking temple. I can't believe you did that. Are you serious? And then he guides Paris' arrow to hit him in the Achilles heel, because Apollo knows that's how he can die.
Oh,
It doesn't come across in the movie like at all. But that Apollo is like, listen, dude, I know your mom, and I know exactly how you got invincible. You're cooked. Yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
So, like, the whole, like, the bird signs and everyone being like, yo, maybe we shouldn't defile the temple of Apollo. That was probably a bad idea. All of that is why Achilles actually gets cooked in the end.
Got it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I learned two things tonight.
yeah, but that is like, I agree with you that if someone was like, I saw a bird carrying a snake, I'd be like, that doesn't mean anything. I'm
That's
glad
what
the
they
bird
mean.
got dinner. Sure.
Yeah. At what point do you think Hector knew that Achilles was the real deal? Because it's probably when he throws the spear from the temple stairs, right? Because he launches that spear on a line, like no arc whatsoever, just on a line, 150 yards. Frozen rope.
Yeah. You gotta imagine Hector had heard about him before that and was like, this Achilles guy sounds like he could be an issue. And then he saw it in person and he was like, I'm
gonna die.
I'm probably dead here.
I'm right on chance here.
Yeah.
I'd be even more upset with Paris at that point.
Paris should have been the one who had to go out and fight Achilles, right? Like, we all agree there, even though he had just lost to the other guy.
I forget his, what's the king's name? Agamemnon's brother.
Yeah, something like that. Starts with an M, I think.
Well, like, that's not a fight. And Hector killed Patroclus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta go fight him.
That's true.
Remember when Achilles first embarrassed Hector, and Hector was like, fight me when they're at the temple, and he's like, nah, it's too early in the day to be killing princes.
That's a bar!
Cool.
Yeah!
That's a cool line.
Too early in the day to be killing princes.
Yep.
I bet you it's a parallel situation. Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire when he doesn't kill the guy coming out of the or stop the guy coming out of the elevator, and then that guy kills Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben, Patroclus, same guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
And Hector is the robber.
Hector is the robber that Spider-Man eventually ties up. Yeah,
Got it. Okay, I
It's
see
all
it.
full circle. If he kills Hector then Hector doesn't kill his cousin, and then he doesn't have to go and kill Hector, and then he never gets to meet the king, who teaches him that there's more to life than being a murderer, and to have like respect and stuff.
King Priam.
Because how does he just get there? I know he was like, I know these beaches super well, but he just like infiltrates their camp and gets into their number one person's tent.
It feels like
him.
One of those things that it's like no one back then actually knew what anyone looked like. So they were like, this old guy is not a threat. Who is he?
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, if I'm a soldier back then, the oldest man in the entire world is walking by, I'm going to be like, whatever.
Let
dude.
him go.
Yeah,
Also,
like, it's not gonna hurt us. Like,
all old people are royalty because everybody else just dies.
that's a fair point, actually. Yeah.
Everybody else is dead.
The
They
only
had-
people that get to live that long are the people with a ton of money.
Was it Achilles or Odysseus or whatever when they're just starting the war, and he goes up to him and he's like, "War is just young men fighting and old men talking."
Yeah, Odysseus says it
Yep.
to Achilles because Achilles is what tries to like talk to Agamemnon. Agamemnon's like, "Get this kid out of here." It's like, dude.
His death was very satisfying.
Who, Agamemnon's?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was cool that she stabs him.
yeah,
From
that is a
Helen,
good
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Achilles striking a 2-week peace?
yeah. Brokering a 12-day peace. That was a huge move by the king because the king's the one that initiated all of that. He
Yeah.
initiated 12 days worth of peace to let his boys recover.
It ends up getting them killed, but at the same time, Achilles approved it, and Agamemnon's like, "What are you talking about? Achilles said that I can't fight for 2 weeks. Like, I have to listen to him."
I
You're
love
gonna
that.
lose if Achilles isn't on your side. You do whatever you want for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your star player says so. You are with that. You have to go with that.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's
I like
so
that they
funny.
showed what it's like when Achilles doesn't fight, when they're like on the cliff watching,
Mm-hmm.
and they stink. They stink at war.
Yeah, they did
Why?
another Greek hero, Ajax. He gets
Yeah.
faded in this. He's like, there's two of
Yeah.
them in actual Greek mythology, but they're not scrubs. They're like pretty on par with Achilles. And in this movie,
Ajax?
they do them very dirty. Yeah.
He's the big dude, right?
Yeah, he gets cooked very
Yeah.
fast.
Hector messes him up.
Hector kills him. Yeah, I think
Hector's
so.
the real deal, man.
Hector's a beast. Yeah.
Hector's a beast. I'll agree with that.
Achilles gave him flowers. He was like, "Your son, he's the best I've ever fought."
Yeah.
That's,
I liked
that's why
when,
I dragged him behind my chariot.
It's
You can
hilarious.
have his body back.
It's hilarious also that fight is like 45 seconds long. And Achilles is like, he's the best I ever fought. He didn't die immediately.
Yeah.
Didn't he like cut Achilles' arm? Like he got him on the arm.
His
He
armor.
nicked it.
Yeah.
Nicked, his chest plate, and Achilles like looks down at it and then kills him.
Also, Achilles must have like the best game ever when it comes to women because that girl like was the prisoner of war and then he saves her and then he's like, "Oh, Hector killed my cousin," and she's like, "No, he's my family," and he's like, "All right," goes and kills him and then brings him back home and he's like, "Your cousin's outside."
Dead.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
He does whatever he wants, man.
I mean,
He's Achilles.
and
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if Achilles looked like Brad Pitt and was that yoked,
Yeah.
it's like, what are you
Dude.
going to do? Yeah.
I don't know if they posted his training regimen online for Troy, but they should. They should sell that. I'd buy that. I'd buy that program.
It's got to be
I think it's just
insane.
Ozempic and steroids.
Just the two of them.
Yeah.
And
And
this
a
would
lot of
probably
sword
help.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
All he
Would
does
you-
is eat grapes and cheese.
What a diet.
Yeah, it's like there's no way he would have been in that good a shape only eating grapes and
shredded.
cheese. That is just
No.
no. There's
I
no
wish I could see what war was like back. Like, I wish I
No,
could
you
watch
don't.
what it was like. You don't think so? You think it's gross?
I bet you
I
it's
said-
disgusting, bro. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad.
I feel like
It's
it's.
gonna be so smelly and just like dirty. Like people were dying of infection. Like when Paris got cut on the leg
He's
in their
dead,
little
yeah.
sword fight. I was like, well, he might as well just die now because he's not living through this.
I just want to see the battle. I just want to see it because I read in a book one time,
carnage.
and it was like when the two lines meet like that. A lot of the times, it's just yelling in each other's face until somebody gets tired. Because your
No.
shields are pushed up so tight against each other, and your sword, it's like you can't move.
Yeah, but that's when they do like the stab over thing and like when they take the beach at the very beginning and they all put their shields up to like block the arrows and the spears. That is like the common way that they would fight in small groups then. It's called the phalanx, where you put like you stack your shields like that, and there's a little spot that there's a line of guys in the back that just stab their spears through it. It's not good. It's very bloody and very disgusting.
That
Surely.
is Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I wouldn't want to watch it.
I don't think it would be good.
I want to see if these guys were that. Like, I would like to see the real Achilles. Was he real? If he was real, fight.
Yeah,
You just realize you want to make him.
It's Brad Pitt. So yeah, he's real.
My theory on Achilles is that they had a set of armor that they gave to their best warrior for every match, and they were like, "That's Achilles, the guy, he's born of the gods, the one you've all heard of." And people would be like, "We're very scared to fight him." And it was a different guy. If he died, they just replace him with the next guy.
But then at what point do they just call it quits?
I think at this point that they had all the Greek armies there, and they were like, Achilles died, and then everyone just knew he was dead. So they were like, jigs up. We can't say Achilles is still alive. Everybody saw it.
Yeah, there was starting to be murmurs around Greece.
Yeah,
about what they were doing.
Yeah, at that point.
I can't think of what other big things happened in it. I mean,
I was thinking about it too when they were like sailing to Troy, and they were all on those boats. I would never leave anywhere or travel by sea. Traveling in the middle of the ocean on one of those boats would be so terrifying.
With no radar or GPS, just a guy.
Or just how small those ships are. Like
they're so tiny.
And they have like no, like you're saying, like radars or anything. Like they don't know what kind of weather's coming. You go into a storm and something like that, you're dead.
The whole army's
you know
gone.
How scary it is on like a cruise ship, like one of those massive, highly technical ships in the middle of the ocean, and you just look and you don't see anything but water for miles.
I would
and
like
you're
to know
just
if
on
there's
a wooden ship, like driven by somebody that's like, it's definitely that way because that's where the sun went down.
Yeah, there's just one guy. It's like it's over there. I've been before. It's like what?
Like no thanks.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
And then the other thing that I was thinking about,
real quick before you get to the other thing, what you guys just described is the Odyssey. It's exactly, they're sailing back home after the Battle of Troy, and they get hit with a storm, and they end up way off course, and it takes them like 40 years to get home.
Yeah,
that's
they fight like a Cyclops, right?
There's a Cyclops involved, yes.
Yeah.
That's whole. The whole story is what you guys nailed it, which is hilarious.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Good job, Travis.
Yeah,
it's because we're
40 years to get home after getting blown off course a little bit, dude.
I would have given up. This is just my new home.
I'm
just here
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's tough. Achilles, thanks for keeping me alive for my wife, but she's moved on. I've moved on. There's no way she's like 35 years into this, and she's like, he's definitely just fighting a good fight still.
He's gonna be home.
Lost.
His kids are full blown. His kids might not even be alive. They've been alive for so long.
But nope, he's just fighting crazy. Cyclopses in the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
All because of Paris.
This is all. Everything is Paris's fault.
Because literally, the prince of a country couldn't find any other girls that he liked.
Had to have the one girl. That is going to cause a war. So dumb. God, I hate him.
It's so funny.
I do think one of my favorite scenes was when they were throwing fireballs down on the beach.
Yeah.
Do you think that had anything to do with like the Apollo stuff? Since he's like the god of the sun or whatever like that, they were throwing down big suns at them on the beach.
Like that a lot. I didn't make that connection, but yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
We're getting good at this whole symbolism thing.
We are.
That was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was just big fireballs.
I also just thought big fireballs. Yeah.
I mean, if a bird can mean something, we can make
the fireballs have to mean something then. Yeah. Wow, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Who gets to inherit Troy now? Is it Paris? Or is it the guy that has the sword of Troy? That he handed off to? Like, I got my quiver. You have this.
Yeah, it's Agamemnon's kid takes it over, I think. Yeah. Because then, then Greece is all like united, quote unquote, as Greece. But then pretty soon after this, Troy's going to get their revenge because they go start the Roman Empire, and then the Roman Empire takes over everything. So
they should make a movie about that.
I agree.
Maybe two.
Maybe a second one. Maybe just about a gladiator. Who wins that fight?
Maximus
never
or
mind.
Achilles. Achilles is superpowers. That's what.
Yeah,
Because that was.
it's tough to say.
I had questions written like, could Tao fight Achilles?
No.
And it's like, no, he can't because Achilles is superpowers, unfortunately. Like,
You know, I thought like the second you saw Achilles fight with a sword, I was like, ooh, Towers. And then in my head, when I was like, nah, Tao's cooked, is when I saw Achilles fighting with two swords for the first time. I was like, well, Tao does not have an advantage anymore.
yeah. Hector has like the spearhead and the sword, and Achilles just like moves his leg out of the way of the second sword.
Dude, that was such a cool little fight when he steps over the strikes.
Yeah.
That's so neat.
So sick.
Dude, the fight with Hector, how Achilles, excuse me, is using his spear is so cool. I don't know if you guys were watching. He'd like stab and then like swing it around and like smack him on the side and swing it back. It's like, this is so neat.
It's so cool, dude. Yeah.
So cool. No fictional person, no fictional swordsman beats Achilles.
I don't think so.
I will give Tao a chance though, because I mean, Achilles obviously can die because he died by Paris because of a couple of arrows.
It's just that Tao would have
it's
to.
Definitely doable.
So
and Tao
either
was fighting fully raged in Ignayama or whatever, which are basically superpowers.
he would have to
them.
know about the Achilles heel though, or figure it out during the fight. Because
I'm sure
lore accurate Achilles, he could stab him in the chest, and Achilles would just like, pull the sword out and be like, "All right, now I have your other sword." Unfortunately,
has he ever been stabbed by dragon glass from hell?
Twice.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a good chance.
I just don't think anybody could beat Achilles. Like, even in this movie, he barely broke a sweat against Hector,
Yeah.
who is like the best of the best.
No, I mean it would have to be someone else with superpowers, I think.
It would have to be like Iron Man.
Yeah.
So you went to a guy without superpowers, just money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very strong.
Down to.
Yeah, there's a strong point there.
It always
That's
comes
tough.
down to. I don't know. Well, since we're talking about Maximus,
Sure, Cap would do it.
you think Cap could? That's a good one. Cap has super
That would be a
strength.
scrap.
Cap would
I
take
still
him out
take it.
for sure.
I think Achilles because I don't think Cap has what it takes to kill him.
Have you seen like any of the Cap movies?
Yeah.
Cap doesn't have a no-kill rule. He accidentally kills a lot of guys. He throws a motorcycle at a dude at the beginning of one of the movies. That guy died.
Imagine,
For sure.
Probably died.
Imagine Achilles just trying to use a sword against a vibranium shield.
That'd be a good fight. I'd watch
That would
it.
be a good fight. Oh, without a doubt. I wonder if
Give me Cap in 6.
I think I'd take Cap in that as well, to be honest with you.
You can definitely do some sort of like AI fight.
Yeah. I can't wait for AI to get far enough that I can be like, hey,
I'm
let
gonna
me
ask
see Achilles
ChatGPT
fight
right
Captain
now.
America. Yeah,
Who
see
wins
what
that
they
fight?
say. There is a Reddit thing about it, Achilles versus Captain America. There's a setting, equipment, rules, what happens in each round. Wow, somebody went.
We should put this up on it. We should put this up as a poll on the gram.
Who
See what people
wins?
vote.
I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I think I
I'm in
lean
on that,
Captain
too.
America.
I'm going Achilles. He's a god.
It's
So is it-
fair. Yeah,
so
so
is
is
Cap.
Captain America, though, basically.
But he's not. That's America's ass. But
Yeah.
he's not a god.
He's got superpowers, though. Like, to the
He
point
does
where
have superpowers.
it's going to be a scrap. And I don't
No
think it's
doubt.
like one guy wins every time. Like, if they
No, it
split
has
the
to be a
series...
best of 7.
Yeah. If they
And
split
it's
this...
going 7.
It's going 7, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I might go Achilles.
I like it. I see the vision. Cap's going to have to get mean here.
ChatGPT did not give a winner, but it gave a bunch of scenarios, their advantages, and a bunch of different possible outcomes.
We need a winner.
It
We
said,
need a definitive answer.
do you want me to read the 3
Yeah.
different outcomes?
Yes.
Yeah, let me hear
Are
it.
the outcomes tie, Achilles win, and Cap
And
wins? Because
Cap
I
win,
hate
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Alright,
Well, it
never
just gave like a
mind.
one of each. Do you just want to hear one of them?
Yeah.
Let's start with
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one? Do you want to
The
hear the
tie
Cap
scenario.
The
tie
tie.
scenario? Okay. So if there's a stalemate, it's because Achilles might be unable to significantly harm Captain America, and Captain America might not be able to exploit Achilles' heel. So kind of what we're talking about, because they were saying Cap's big advantage is the superhuman strength. He's like a master tactician and like just
Okay.
strategy guy, and then the shield. And then Achilles is like being invincible and like just nasty at fighting in close range.
Yeah, that plays.
Hate a tie.
Yeah.
I hate a tie too, but it really all comes down to is can his opponent figure out that the little spot on the back of his heel is a career ender.
And they even say they're like Captain America. If he wins, he just needs to like exploit an opening and then subdue him. That's it. So
These
like,
aren't good.
yeah, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, can
You're
you
gonna go
choke
with that.
someone with invincibility out? Because it's not killing them.
I mean,
Yeah, you can.
Like, could Cap just choke him out, like, every time he wakes up?
I mean, Cap
Yeah.
fought Thor, and Thor's a god.
That's a
Great
really
argument.
strong point.
Great
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
Wow,
Thor
it might
is
be
a god.
Cap.
It might be Cap.
It might be Cap.
Yeah.
That's tough because I'm a big Achilles guy.
Really? Because he's terrible. He's a terrible person. No way Achilles could pick up the hammer. He's not worthy.
They're all
No, he's
terrible
not worthy.
people.
Yeah, I just like
Yeah.
watching him fight, man. It's so fun.
True.
Yeah,
I would just like to watch him fight fictional characters all day.
I'd watch that. I'd watch a
Oh,
lot
without
of
a doubt.
that.
It's like Record of Ragnarok, truly.
Yeah.
The anime.
Pretty good.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you finally watched it, Travis. That's 2 movies that have probably changed your life in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably,
Definitely
yeah,
changed your life.
100%.
You're
100%.
nodding your head in agreement right now for
Yep.
for the audio only listeners, which is everybody
this
because we
is-
don't put a video out.
This is your new favorite movie.
Yeah.
And
At
I'm gonna-
73%.
I'm gonna make this your new, like, not identity, but for Christmas and your birthday, I'm just gonna get you Troy-related gifts for
You
the
a
rest of your life.
shield and a spear.
Was it you?
I'm gonna get you a blonde wig, blonde hair.
I want one of you guys to watch a movie that you haven't seen.
Impossible.
No. Have you seen Cinderella Man? Was that the one we were talking about?
Oh, I've definitely seen Cinderella
I think
Man.
I've seen it too. Yeah.
It's like one of my top tier favorite movies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great one. When he has to fight the bear.
hmm
Who wins, the bear or Achilles?
James J. Braddock.
James J. Braddock breaks his hand after one punch.
And then he goes Southpaw.
Yeah, then he goes Southpaw. Great movie. If you can find a classic that we haven't seen, I'll gladly watch it.
Okay. The Passion of the Christ.
Okay.
It actually
well,
came out the same year as Troy.
No way.
Yeah, I was looking at the box office. The top 4 movies that year were Troy, The Passion of the Christ, Spider-Man 2, and Shrek 2.
Nick's favorite
Wow.
series,
What
Spider-Man.
a great year.
Great year for movies, 2004, except for I haven't seen Passion of the Christ. Apparently, it's incredibly controversial. I'm not going to get into it. We should
Yeah, I
probably
haven't
stop
seen it either,
talking
so let's just
about
move.
it.
I'd rather talk about Shrek 2,
Yeah.
which
Shrek 2
apparently
was
is a fantastic movie.
great.
I've seen it, but apparently people think it's better than the first, which
I've heard that.
Which one's Shrek 2? What do they do there?
they go and visit her parents.
Yeah,
That's
and Prince
right.
Charming shows up.
Yeah, Prince Charming
That
and Fairly
stinks.
Godmother. Prince Charming stinks. He's Paris.
He is
Yeah.
Paris. Yeah.
He's the Paris of Shrek. That's gonna be my new thing. As we read books, I'm gonna say like this is the Paris of this book.
I like that. I'm in on that.
Instead of the antagonist, it's just this Paris.
It's just like a
Paris.
useless person who somehow
That
keeps moving the
sucks.
storyline along. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Tainted Cup, that book, the entire book is Paris. Whole book.
Mhm. That should just be like a rating scale of books, like Paris up to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out of
people
5
that we
stars,
like.
I give this a Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Parises.
Yeah. We'll call it mixed reviews then.
Got mixed reviews. God, great movie.
Yeah.
Such a good set. It's the Michael Jordan of 70% movies. Like movies that you give a 7 out of 10. It's the best one.
It's up there. Yeah.
It's the
It's
only
up.
movie that I can think about in the 70s, so I guess you're right.
Knew it. Nailed it then.
Yeah, pretty good take.
Nailed it. Spot on.
Can't argue that.
No. Well, do you guys got anything else?
Yeah, any other thoughts? Let me look at my notes real quick, but I think I've given all my fun facts.
Yeah,
Have we
no
decided
thoughts,
our
just
next book?
cool. I think we're gonna do a love book, a love story.
Should we do love story for February?
It's called The Love Hypothesis. Is what we're gonna go with. It has.
What's your hypothesis for it? Use it in the hypothesis, if then because.
I can't.
If they're in love, then they'll love each other because they're in love.
Well,
nailed it.
Based off of the summary that we read last podcast, if Adam, who's the main guy, has six-pack abs confirmed in the summary, then Olive will fall in love.
Do you have the summary in front of you?
I do.
Because we didn't. I don't think we read it on the pod, so I think you should read the summary to give the listeners a little sneak preview of what is coming next episode.
Oh goodness. Okay. I hate reading on the spot. You know, there was a kid that I went to high school with that when the teacher would call on him to read, he would say no.
I had a kid like that in my class as well.
That's psychotic.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Read.
It was actually a friend of mine that I grew up with, and one time he did it, and they were like, well, why won't you read? And he was like, I'd rather just go to the principal's office. And he got up and walked out. Yeah.
When he said no, I had to do a double take. I was like, are we allowed to do that?
It was so cool. I never even crossed my mind.
Well, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood has a 4.1 stars on Goodreads and 1.6 million ratings. That's the most ratings I've ever seen.
That's a ton.
Honestly. So, here's the summary. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing An that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof, everybody. So, like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, the young hotshot professor, but a well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend classic. But when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, good pun, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, another good one. And Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope.
Wow.
It seems so cheesy.
It's gonna be so cheesy, and we have to talk romance.
Relationship. This is gonna be so bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say, honestly, I have been more excited to read books.
Yeah.
I'm not like
this is. I mean, it's February. It's love month.
Love is in the air. This
is the tough part of book podcasting, that people just don't talk about it. They think it's all just fun with your friends. Sometimes you got to get in the weeds and read a book you don't want to read because of the time of year.
Exactly.
That's
we're
very
in
well
one of those
put.
seasons right now. We're gonna do this in 2 parts, so 2 episodes. Half of the book, and then the next episode will be the other half of the book and the review.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. It adds up to 100%. I checked the numbers, and it checks out. I'm excited to talk about this, guys, with you guys. It's gonna be funny.
It's gonna
Maybe
be
we
funny.
can get Taylor Swift on to talk about it. I know she's super into love stories, like that one song.
Yeah, she does have a whole song about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Taylor Swift?
Oh,
she dates that tight end.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
Right.
Who?
The Kelsey guy.
Never heard of him.
He dates Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. I know who you're talking
boyfriend.
about. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. Yeah.
Well,
It's going to be
I'm
fun.
ready.
It's going to be silly.
It's gonna be fun. I'm ready to hypothesize love.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week for episode 1 of the Love Hypothesis. Follow us on Instagram for more information. Also, our YouTube channel is up. This is going to be the first
Wow.
episode on our YouTube channel. So, like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. That'd be cool.
Tell
I
a
didn't
friend.
even know this was happening until this moment.
Yeah, this is going to be the
Wow.
first episode. We're going to be posting about it on our Instagram. So,
I'll go subscribe.
sweet.
Yeah, I'll be the first.
Nice. That's very exciting.